Yeah, while I was doing some research on some of the other openings, I discovered something called, well, I didn't discover, I invented something called the Scorpion attack, and it's actually an opening system for the black pieces, despite it being called an attack. And there's actually a good reason for that, and yeah, there haven't been that many opening system, not opening system, sorry. There has been, there hasn't been that many, there haven't been that many opening, like, yeah, opening names that are called attack that are actually for the black pieces, and this is an effort to kind of change that a little bit. So, yeah, this is a new opening system I came up with, and it's called the Scorpion attack. Um, Basically, the Scorpion attack starts out like this: you push these two pawns, you get these knights out. Probably, we're gonna have to like fumble with the move order a little bit because it really depends on how good you can get these to like come up. But yeah, these, and then you just pluck the bishops in like this. Um, when you have the knights out and you have these two pawns pushed, the bishops will have already guarded them, so these bishop moves come up last. Um, and then and then afterwards, the first thing you're going to do is either you're going to push your pawn, either one of these two pawns again, or you'll castle immediately. That's the whole game plan for the Scorpion attack. And what's at first it looks very much like the cow opening, but it is not like the cow opening at all. In that the cow opening is a rather defensive opening, and it's a very slow playing opening. Sorry, it's a very slow playing opening, and the Scorpion attack, as as turtling as it looks initially, it actually allows you to bust open the center immediately. And you're going to see that in this example game right here.
Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center, and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces.
Yeah, I was playing against Starfish on Lichess, and on Lichess for some reason the Starfish engines on those tend to somehow prefer playing d4 rather than e4. I don't really know why, but hey ho.
d6 defends the e5 square, and allows the light squared bishop to develop. This overlooks an opportunity to prepare a bishop for development. You overlooked a better way to prepare a bishop for development. Developing the knight and increasing influence in the center.
At first, it looks very much like the cow opening, but it's not like the cow opening at all.
You are bringing your knight into play, eyeing the central squares. This develops the knight and attacks the center. One of the best moves. Your opening setup is taking white develops. Your bishop becomes more powerful by developing towards the action.
This is how the Scorpion attack initially looks. And at first, it looks like it's turtling, but no, this is actually a very aggressive, like, very counterattacking way to play the game. It is, and I would argue it's downright controversial, which is what you want in an opening, honestly. Um, it's a very controversial opening, and you're going to see it spring into action like immediately. It's not like the cow opening at all, because yeah, you actually get to begin your attack like pretty much right away, right after the gate, and you're going to see that.
This creates a pawn chain. Link, you exchange pieces of equal value. Takes back. You missed an opportunity to win a tempo by threatening a queen.
Okay, I didn't see the tactic there. I didn't see the tactic there. I very well could have just threatened the queen right away. But normally this is one of the game plans of. I mean, I very well could have taken it here. I very well could have just taken the pawn and then traded here. But that's one of the things you can do. But yeah, this gets the knight out of the way, and yeah, you're going to see it spring to life like immediately.
There were worse moves, but also something much better. You take back.
Take back.
That's fine. Oops, you gave up a pawn.
It looks, the computer doesn't like this move, but in actuality, like, well, I very well could have just pinned the knight to whatever that, but but this, I was just ready to trade some more.
This misses an opportunity to capture a free pawn.
Oh, well, uh, I mean, I didn't realize that was the free pawn, but whatever.
Castling kingside helps to complete your development. This makes a passed pawn.
This is actually not a good idea. I mean, well, the queen is guarding it for the time being, but you'll still see why this pawn is going to be a liability to white in a moment.
This moves your bishop to a safer square. The game was close to balanced, but now white is worse.
It looks like a natural development. It looks like a natural developing move. I don't know why it's considered a mistake.
You are threatening to win material through a tactic. This loses a pawn. You overlooked an opportunity to tactically win a pawn.
In this instance, I genuinely wouldn't have taken here because that allows you to just win. I mean that allows them to just win a bishop for free. So I wouldn't do this. It's not worth it to do this. I generally don't know why the computer thinks this is actually a good move. It's not a good move at all. It just gives up a bishop for free.
This prevents the opponent from being able to win a queen by pinning a piece to the king. You're threatening to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades.
I wasn't so worried about the pawn at this time. I was more worried about like trying to like put more pressure on the queen. I mean, I very well could have done this too, but I don't know.
The king has lost its castling rights.
Yeah, he very well could have castled. I don't know what he was thinking about.
You missed a chance to punish your opponent's error. The king has lost. You missed a chance to punish your opponent's error.
I would not play this. That just allows the knight to just develop for free, and yeah, you don't really want to give up your bishop for free like that.
Recaptures.
That's not a concern.
You captured back.
Yeah, this is what I was more worried about, because like he's going to take back with a queen, and then I'm going to be able to win that back.
Take. Recapturing.
Yeah, this is what I was more concerned about, so so obviously I caught that.
This blocks the check from an opposing rook. Not the best move, but not bad either.
I wanted to just try to either get the knight or the bishop just out of the way when I did this.
After all captures, this is an equal trade.
And then I just
You are forcing your opponent to isolate a pawn. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Good job. That's what I would have played too.
And then I just get the bishop out of danger.
One more piece joins the action.
Yeah, I was actually concerned about the rooks just lining up like that.
Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended.
I mean, I generally don't know what bringing the rook back would achieve, but whatever.
A very strong play. Doubled rooks on an open file is a great strategy. A solid choice.
You're going to see why I intentionally doubled the rooks, because there's actually a checkmate that I've been eyeing on this whole time.
You've just allowed your pawn to be taken without a fight.
In this instance, I was actually trying to push at least one of the pawns while keeping it like defended. It was either that or I pushed one of these pawns, which, I mean, I probably could have pushed this, but if I was generally starting to worry about the rooks, so I really had to do something.
That was a free pawn. You overlooked an opportunity to win a tempo by threatening a rook.
I mean, I generally didn't want to have to go here because like I tried that in some other game and they were somehow able to just check, and I didn't want to risk it.
This overlooks an opportunity to develop a rook off its starting square. Your opponent slipped up, but you didn't take advantage of it.
In this instance, I was worried about the bishop, so I really wanted to get the bishop off the board.
With the rook now developed as well, White has all pieces ready for action. You found a safer square for your pawn. This misses a much better move. You found a safer square for your pawn.
In this instance, I just wanted to stop the rook.
This misses a much better move. You overlooked an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces.
If I just pushed here without the pawn being there, the problem I would run into is, well, there really was a rook guarding it. I genuinely thought I was going to end up giving up the rook for free, and I didn't want that happening.
Only one move worked there, and this wasn't it.
This is where I finally get
Nice
to
job blocking the
kick
attack on your pawn.
This is where I finally get to kick the bishop and get it out to the way.
After all captures, this is an equal trade. You missed a better way to recapture a piece. After all captures, this is an equal trade. You missed a better way to recapture a piece.
This is actually the better move here because, like, if this is actually the better move here because if you take back with the bishop, you just give up your bishop for free. I mean, you technically you could take back with the pawn, but I generally thought that I was going to actually need the bishop for something, so I knew that just taking back with a pawn was a better idea.
This moves the bishop to safety. You're going to end up losing a pawn.
I tried going here, but yeah, the bishop can just check, and you have this rook check and what have you, and it's just not fun.
This overlooks an opportunity to capture a free pawn. Yes, this is the way.
I generally wanted to get this bishop off the board.
This defends the attacked bishop. You are threatening to tactically win a rook.
And then this is why it's...
This stops the opponent from being able to... You take back. This makes a passed pawn. You missed an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. You allowed the opponent to sacrifice a rook for a nice tactic.
I didn't want to have to trade here. I generally didn't want to have to trade here. And also, if I were to go here, I basically would have just given the bishop away for free. So it wasn't a good idea.
This took advantage of a mistake, and white now has a winning advantage. This places a rook on the 7th rank, where it can be highly active. Nice move, your bishop now controls more squares. This is the way to win a bishop. A good choice to move your threatened bishop. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. This misses an opportunity to tactically win a bishop. You overlooked an opportunity to win material through an eventual pin.
If I went here, I would have just given the rook away for free, so I didn't want to do that.
This is the strongest option. You step your king away from the checking rook. White lost their winning advantage, and now the game is close to equal. You punished your opponent's bad move and took away their advantage. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure.
And I was aiming for the check right here. That's why I kept pushing the pawns.
This evades the check from the pawn. You are threatening to checkmate the king. This stops the opponent from being able to checkmate the king. You won a pawn for free. Very precise. Nice, definitely the right move. This moves the rook to safety. Very good choice.
He has some crazy ideas, but obviously the idea that I had in mind was just to keep getting these pawns pushed so that I could like aim for like further checks with the pawns.
This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. You are threatening to tactically win a bishop. This threatens to tactically win a rook. This prevents the opponent from being able to tactically win a bishop. The game was close, but now your opponent has a clear advantage.
I just had enough of what he was. I just had enough of what he was doing. So I ended up just sacrificing my bishop just to like get this stuff out of the way, and then I would have been able to like come up with a check here.
That bishop was free for the taking. Good job. That's what I would have played too.
I had this check available, so I figured why not.
This steps away from the checking pawn. You made a passed pawn.
And all the more checking going on.
This steps away from the check. You permitted the opponent to eventually win material.
I wasn't concerned with this. Like eventually I should be able to push this pawn and then get a check through there.
This allows the opponent to force eventual checkmate. This misses an opportunity to win material through a tactic. Your opponent will be forced into checkmate if you find the right moves. This captures a pawn that checked the king. Your move gets closer to checkmate.
I knew that the rook was guarding this pawn, so I immediately wasted no time just promoting it to a queen.
This evades the check from the queen.
Obviously,
Checkmate is always the best move.
So as you can see here, this entire setup.
Way to stay sharp and save the game with a checkmate attack in the endgame.
So as you can see in this exact setup is. It looks like you're playing passive at first, but you're not playing passive at all. You're actually just wreaking havoc in the center, and it's one of those more hyper modern ideas, and thankfully it worked. I was up against a level 4 stockfish, but honestly, hopefully I gave you some insights as to well, not insights, but hopefully I was able to prove to you that this opening system shows some promise, because yeah, as long as you set this up, and as long as you set it up correctly, you should be able to just bust over the center immediately, and you should be able to just wreak havoc across the board right away. It looks passive at first, but it's really not. And yeah, that's your scorpion attack. Sorry, that's your scorpion attack. Okay, have fun.